Hi everybody, so today is that day. Today is January 21st, 2026. Today is the day when they actually have passed the 75 countries suspension. My law firm, we already passed out like a pamphlet explaining who could be affected. That was last week. Who's not affected? I'm still getting lots of questions and concerns, and I'm sure the people who still don't understand. So here we go. 75 countries are on this list, spanning from Asia, Africa, name it, like all sorts of countries are on this list. Once this is posted, you can check the comment section to see the 75 countries. Now, who's affected for the 75 countries? If you're one of these countries that's affected, all right, it affects, again, only consular processing. Consular processing connotes any types of applications typically that happen outside the U.S., outside the country, via a consulate. Okay, so if you're applying for a green card application, in other words, it applies to green card processing that's happening outside the U.S. for citizens of these 75 countries. So any citizen of these 75 countries who's applying for an immigrant visa, there's a suspension on those green cards, all right, that are issued from outside the U.S. via a consulate. That's why it's called consular processing. All right. It does not affect, all right, other non-immigrant visas. Non-immigrant visas are temporary visas such as student visa, tourist visa, work visa. These are temporary visas and are usually given by discretion anyway, right? And usually, I guess they're considered to undergo more vetting. So it doesn't apply to those ones, okay? Only green card applications filed outside the U.S., which means if you're from one of these 75 countries and you're filing a green card application inside the U.S., you're still safe, provided you weren't already covered in the travel ban that passed January 1st. So provided you're not from a country that experienced a travel ban already, your country was not already placed on a travel ban back in January 1st, and you're here in the U.S. and you're planning to file a green card application, whether it's through marriage, through an employer, or any other way, but you're gonna do it inside the U.S., that's called adjustment of status. It doesn't apply to you, again, provided your country was not already on the travel ban that was passed January 1st, 2026. So here's what this is kind of telling us. It's telling us now is the best time. This 75 country suspension doesn't apply to green card applications inside the U.S. The administration already anticipated that with the travel ban. And so the travel ban did cover immigrant visas, all right, from some of these countries. So either way, what we're basically seeing is the laws are getting tighter, guys. Everything is getting tighter. If you're one of those people who keeps waiting for a better day, there is no better day. Today is the day. That's the takeaway. Today is the day. All right. So if you're from one of these 75 countries, you're inside the U.S., hurry up and go ahead and file your application now. What did I say? If you're from one of these 75 countries like Jamaica, Tanzania, if you're from one of these 75 countries, you're inside the U.S., today is the day you need to file that application. Real quick, I want to remind people the travel ban that was passed in January 1st that covered countries like Nigeria, Tanzania, Burkina Faso, that one did affect adjustment of status applications here in the U.S. Okay, it didn't suspend it per se. It didn't limit it. It just said, hey, we'll receive your application. We won't make a final decision until the ban is lifted. So that means you can still apply for your application. It's just that a final decision will or may not be issued at this time. Also, quick update, I've had 2 interviews so far this year. One, the travel ban was mentioned in one city and state, and another one was a different city or state. The guy didn't mention it at all. In fact, he told us to expect our green card soon. That's telling you that, in other words, there's still hope. File that application today, whether your country is covered by the travel ban or the 75 country suspension. File today. And waiting is not a strategy, because if you wait and then we have other things coming in the pipeline, you could find yourself kind of like limited to what you can file for. And to those countries that are affected by the 75 bans, I still say file your application, because I do believe both of these laws will be fought. In fact, I'm sure they're already being fought. So they will be fought. They will be brought down. There is going to be litigation. The day that happens, you want your application to already be pending. You want to give God something to work with. All right. So waiting, sitting back, being afraid is not a strategy. And especially for those who are here in the U.S., if having no application at all is always a disadvantage. If ICE picks you up, I just got a call today from someone I know, an employee of theirs was picked up. Okay, and so of course one of the questions I ask is, does the guy have anything pending? Does he have any way to fix his status? Because these two questions, how you answer these two questions, could be a difference between you being here today and you being deported tomorrow. Have something pending. It is a way to protect yourself. All right, guys. Bye. Take care.